Talk about SU's Western Night.
And we'll let you know about Casino Night, so stay tuned. Welcome to SUTV News. I'm Hunter Hatch.
And I'm Thomas Dianella. SU's annual Casino Night was hosted on Saturday night by the Student Programming Board with a unique theme. I was there for a full review. This year's Casino Night featured the usual table games, mocktails, bingo, and formal attire, but the theme this year took SU students to Tatooine, Jabba's Palace, and more from the historic film series Star Wars. Many students steered into the theme with multiple students dressing in cosplay, including Nathan Bracken.
Star Wars themed Jedi costume, decided to put it to use.
Aside from the theme, the night included blackjack, Texas Hold'em poker, roulette, and the atmosphere that could only be found in casinos. Common Sense Casino parties provide the tables for the event, while student workers work the tables and behind the scenes to complete the atmosphere.
I love it. It's been super fun just to be able to work and see all the people and interact with them. Because I feel like when you're down there, just walking around, to me, it's really get to know everybody. It's good.
Students were playing for prizes including a TV, record player, and other Star Wars-inspired prizes after turning their chips in for raffle tickets. Casino Night has always been a student favorite event, and 2022's lived up to expectations. For SUTV News, I'm Thomas Dianella.
Clubs across SU are constantly holding events on campus for the student body. Here's the rundown on the Western Night hosted last night. The Western Swing and Dance Club hosted a Western Night in SU's ballroom on Tuesday night. A variety of events were available for students to participate in. Instructors walked crowds of students through line dancing routines, learning how to lasso someone and how to ride a mechanical bull. The event was full of students dressed up in their Western best, enjoying meals catered by Zaxby's.
I went to the Western event. I didn't really want to go, but my friends dragged me in and it was really fun. I got thrown off the mechanical bull, I got lassoed, and the line dancing was cool. I didn't participate, but yeah, and the food was really good. There were a lot of people in cool costumes. I didn't wear one. I probably should have. The cowboy hats and, the boots and stuff and the belts, It was good, it was good.
SU has over 120 clubs. One of them is Dungeons and Dragons Club. Our reporter Riley Brewster has more.
The Dungeons and Dragons Club, also known as the D&D Club, is one of the largest clubs on campus, coming in at about 200 members. D&D is a tabletop role-playing game that is a mixture of imagination, statistics, and chance by rolling dice. The club has a lot of fun, and it is a place where people can get together in a safe place to play the game. Often it is hard to get a group together, having to find enough players and also somebody who can be the dungeon master, also known as the DM. Having a club on campus has made it easier for many students at SUU and those in the community to find groups to play with, whether they are seasoned players or just starting out. The club is a safe place and enables friendships as well. Many people play because of the friend aspect, or because of the creativity it enables.
Well, what I like about D&D and why I play it is a lot of just the friend aspect. I have really close friends that play it, so I'll play with them all the time, any day.
D&D provides a lot of creativity that you couldn't usually express throughout middle school and throughout all of your education career. And it helps provide that escape and growth of mind.
If you are interested in joining the D&D Club, they ask that you join their Discord server. A link is on their T-Bird Connect page. With SUU TV, this is Riley Brewster.
Coming up, we'll look at the morning brew.
We'll be right back.
Southern Utah's Museum of Art is providing unique opportunities for SU students with its new program, Sidekicks. Our SUTV reporter Seth Whitehouse has more.
Southern Utah's Museum of Art held their monthly Sidekicks Assemble event last Tuesday in the Summa classroom. Sidekicks is a free membership for all SU students to earn rewards through the museum while also having the opportunity to create their own artwork at these events.
We, as a museum, are tied to the university. There is a small portion of each student fees that comes to the museum and helps support our operating costs. You guys help keep the lights on, you keep the water running. So the Sidekicks program is kind of our way of letting you guys be members. You've paid your dues, so now you get perks for doing that.
For this event, Sidekick members were encouraged to bring a friend and were given all the necessary supplies to paint along to the masterful work of all-time painting personality, Bob Ross.
There's something about making art together that really bonds people that, not everything else does. So if you just come and hang out for an hour or two with us on these Tuesdays, you come out and you've made 4 new friends, and you didn't necessarily expect that to happen.
With 1 month remaining in the semester, Sidekicks still have a couple more events planned, including a poetry night on April 15th. They are also considering to host events like this during the summer. For more information on the Sidekicks program, visit their homepage on SUU's website. For SUTV News, I'm Seth Whitehouse.
If you're not a fan of mornings, Morning Brew is on Thunder 91.1 Monday through Friday. Morning Brew is a student-run morning show with its 3 hosts, Matt, Reggie, and the Kidney. 3 are on air from 8 to 9 a.m., where they play games and have fun conversations about campus happenings as well as pop culture events. The radio is not the only place you can hear these 3. They also have a podcast you can find on Spotify called The Morning Brew. If you're looking for any more information, they also have an Instagram at MorningBrewKSUU.
A new coffee shop in Cedar City has been making waves across town. Christian Sanchez has more.
For only a short time now, Bristol Cone has been serving the people of Cedar City with different coffees, hot and cold drinks, and different bagel options. Opening up in what used to be a car repair shop, they've made the shop their own, making their own merchandise and changing the color scheme. This not-so-small coffee shop is doing what it can to make its mark. Offering drinks such as lattes, teas, lemonade, and the classic hot chocolate, their menu includes specialty drinks such as the Dorothy Love You Latte, and they are certain to have something for everyone on their growing menu. They not only serve food and drinks, but also offer different types of yoga classes, including hot, technical, and candlelight yoga, different ways for you to reach your nirvana. The classes also include Pilates, high intensity, and meditation. All the courses are available on their website to help you stay connected with yourself and the community.
Yeah, I just love doing the homework here, and the vibe is awesome, immaculate. I love the music that they always have playing, and all the natural light is great to keep me awake while I'm studying. I love the Love is Love matcha is the go-to. It's awesome.
Though being fairly new, we will have to wait to see what they brew up next. My name is Christian Sanchez, and this is SUU TV News.
What's the best way to get around Cedar City? Do you drive, bike, or for our aviation students fly? Let's take a deeper look into that.
Every student knows the pain of SUU's crowded parking lots, even if they don't have a car themselves. While it may be annoying to deal with, many students will find that the experience of buying a car is just as frustrating.
Things that have changed from the last time I bought a car, before this most recent one, was the finances of it, I guess. A little bit different. Having to go through maybe different financial agencies.
Finances are one of the biggest pains for any student. Having to worry about rent, tuition, and groceries makes money management difficult already. But adding car payments and gas, especially with massive gas prices recently, is a whole other worry. For students who already have a car, they may find that they have no use for it, as Cedar City is fairly easy to traverse on foot or bike.
Yeah, so I tried to sell my Ford F-150 tan truck outside like last year, and I wasn't able to. I tell them like there's like some quirks that the truck has and stuff, and they ended up not being willing to pay that much for that because it's a pretty old truck, has lots of miles on it, and so they weren't willing to pay that much for that.
In the end, each student must make the best decision for their situation. For SUTV, I'm Sage Judd.
You know, it's mentioned flying, I used to fly, but I don't anymore. I just use my car or my bike.
Yeah, and that's a little hard to find parking for a helicopter.
Yeah.
Around SU Park, you know. I mean, it's hard enough to find parking for a car most days.
Right.
You know, I can't imagine a helicopter just land on the football field.
I mean, that'd be pretty sweet.
Yeah,
that'd
I
be
mean,
cool.
If I had the chance, I would, but
yeah,
I don't know if I can even fly a helicopter myself.
Oh man, it's not that hard. You could do it.
Nah, I mean, I'm not that good of a driver as is.
So maybe not.
Maybe not. Anthony, what do we have coming up in weather?
Coming up on SUTV Weather, we'll give you a look at this week's forecast. Stay tuned.
I'm Jenny Garth, and as a mother of 3, I know kids worry about a lot of things. Getting enough food to eat shouldn't be one of them. But here in America, that is a real worry for 1 in 5 children. Even though we are one of the most food-rich countries in the world, 15 million children don't know where their next meal is coming from. This is unacceptable, and something the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks is working to solve. Instead of accepting that our country lets billions of pounds of surplus food go to waste every year, Feeding America has made it their mission to help families in need by rescuing this food. Through food pantries and meal programs, the nationwide network of food banks provides more than 3 billion meals, serving virtually every community in the United States, including yours. Join me in supporting Feeding America and your local food bank by visiting feedingamerica.org. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're Feeding America.
Welcome to SUTV Weather. I'm Anthony Colasuno. Behind me we have beautiful Bryce Canyon, some comets up in the sky. It's beautiful. And here is your 3-day forecast. Today was a high of 51, low of 33. We reached around those temps. Bit cold in the morning hours. Tomorrow is going to be way much more warm. High of 59, low of 26. And Thursday, temperatures are going to go up about 10 degrees more. It's going to be very nice Thursday, and also the weekend, high of 68, low of 34 tomorrow. Up around the state of Utah tomorrow in Syracuse, high of 55, low of 32 and sunny. In Bountiful, high of 57, low of 33. And in Tooele, Utah, high of 54, low of 30. And down in Hurricane, they're chilling, high of 71 tomorrow. And then weather around the world. In Auckland, New Zealand is Wednesday afternoon over there, and they're going to see thunderstorms all day today, so bring your rain boots. High of 71, low of 64. In Seoul, South Korea, they're starting their morning, high of 50, low of 35. And then Sofia, Bulgaria, high of 49, low of 30, and just hit midnight over there. That is all for SUTV weather for the forecast. With temperatures warming up and spring right around the corner here in Cedar City, Utah, outdoor activities are going to be ramping up.
With spring right around the corner and the temperatures heating up, here are some precautions to take out in the wilderness, but also to be safe and have a great time.
Mainly with the weather warming up, I like to get out and do more mountain biking. That's the big thing. And the funnest trails to me are like on the south side of town. And as things get warmer, that area dries up. So that's my go-to.
Do not panic. When in the wild, do not panic if you come across a wild animal in your path. If you do panic, the animal could misinterpret it as an offensive action and take on defensive stance in self-defense. Most wild animals, big or small, will not attack unless they feel threatened, have young with them, or are injured or sick. If confronted with a wild animal, it would be to your advantage to quietly and slowly backtrack down the path, keep an eye on the animal until you are safely away. The more the distance between the animal, the better. And if it rains here in southern Utah, there's always a threat of flash floods. If you're hiking or mountain biking and it starts raining, always seek higher ground or go back to your car and ride away safely. With SUTV News, I'm Anthony Colasuno.
Now that the weather is much clearer, it's time to hike, and the perfect place for that is at Bryce Canyon National Park. in Bryce Canyon National Park, they have trails that have great distances and cooperative environments. The park focuses on helping those understand the story behind the landscape and getting a great workout in. The employees there are fast-paced and very informal. They offer many trails for those who are beginners and experienced at hiking. If anyone was interested, the website they recommend is nps.gov/BRCA. That is it for SUTV weather. Now let's get you over to Ryan with sports.
Coming up on SUTV Sports, we'll take a look at what happened over the weekend in college basketball, and I've got some SUU football news. Stay tuned.
I'm Jenny Garth, and as a mother of 3, I know kids worry about a lot of things. Getting enough food to eat shouldn't be one of them. But here in America, that is a real worry for 1 in 5 children. Even though we are one of the most food-rich countries in the world, 15 million children don't know where their next meal is coming from. This is unacceptable, and something the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks is working to solve. Instead of accepting that our country lets billions of pounds of surplus food go to waste every year, Feeding America has made it their mission to help families in need by rescuing this food. Through food pantries and meal programs, the nationwide network of food banks provides more than 3 billion meals, serving virtually every community in the United States, including yours. Join me in supporting Feeding America and your local food bank by visiting feedingamerica.org. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're Feeding America.
Welcome back to SUTV Sports. I'm Ryan McCormick. Starting off with college basketball, the SU T-Birds are on the road tonight in the second round of the Basketball Classic. Only 18 teams accepted invites into the tournament, so the bracket works a little different than normal. Only 9 teams were left to start the second round, and now it is down to 7 after last night's games. Florida Gulf Coast was up 6 at halftime, but Coastal Carolina used a 50-point second half to advance. South Carolina Upstate was stuck trying to play catch-up the entire game. South Alabama makes it to the Final 5. The T-Birds get the road draw of the UTEP Miners, and the top-seeded Fresno State gets Youngstown State tomorrow night. The Portland Pilots are waiting on these set of games to finish up to get their second-round matchup. As for tonight's game for the T-Birds, the Miners' best player has been Sully Boom all year. He proved it with a 20-point triple-double in their first-round matchup versus Western Illinois, and Keontae Kennedy was that game's leading scorer with 22. UTEP had five different players with double-digit points in that 80-54 win. The T-Birds will have to slow down Boom, defend the three-point line, and stay out of foul trouble if they're going to advance in this tournament. In NCAA tournament news, both the men's and women's tournaments are now in the Sweet 16 after last night's women's games. Looking at the men's bracket, there are 4 double-digit seeds remaining in the Sweet 16. St. Peter's will hope to continue its Cinderella run by upsetting 3-seed Purdue and becoming the lowest seed to ever reach the Elite 8. If you remember last week's sports show, Thomas and my picks of Gonzaga and Kansas are still alive, but Seth's Kentucky pick was upset by St. Peter's, and Anthony's Tennessee pick fell to Michigan in the round of 32. Over in the women's bracket, 2 10 seeds remain as Creighton pulled off the big-time upset over Iowa in a close one, and the South Dakota Coyotes stunned the Baylor Bears, ending their consecutive Sweet 16 streak at 12. All 4 1 seeds remain as they continue to prove their top seedings. Be here for Thursday's show as we'll give you one last update before the Sweet 16s finally tip off. In some amazing news for Thunderbird Athletics, the SU gymnastics team is headed to their 9th straight NCAA regional championships. The Flippin' Birds will get to go out to Auburn, Alabama to compete against the number 7 Auburn Tigers, the number 10 Kentucky Wildcats, and the number 23 Georgia Bulldogs. Getting direct competition with 3 SEC schools is absolutely incredible. Iowa State and Western Michigan will start things off next Wednesday in a dual meet play-in for the 8th seed in the region. Stay updated on SU Gymnastics. They encourage you to check out at SU Gym or at SU Gymnastics on social medias. In some local news, Canyon View High School hosted the first events of the Utah Summer Games this past weekend. The Larry H. Miller Summer Games started off with the annual wrestling events of Greco-Roman, freestyle, and folk style. Mark Richardson and Luke Langston, 2 Canyon View students, took the top places in the 221 to 260 pound high school advanced division in folk style, and another Canyon View kid, Maddox Siegmiller, took first place with a technical fall in the 3rd and 4th grade division of 47 to 55 pounds. This was just the first event of the Larry H. Miller Summer Games, and the opening ceremony is Friday, June 10th at the Eccles Coliseum. The Utah Summer Games encourage all to participate to compete or to view the complete schedule of events, visit utahsummergames.org. Spring practices began yesterday for the Southern Utah football program. Practices are open to all eligible students wanting to participate and are open to watch for the public. Practices are being held at 4 p.m. in Eccles Coliseum every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and at 10 a.m. on Saturdays for the next month. For more updates on SUU football, you can visit their social medias. In professional sports news, the NBA is just under a month from the end of its regular season. Here's a look at the Western Conference standings after last night's games. The Jazz are currently in 4th, just a couple games behind Golden State and Memphis. Phoenix is running away with the best record in basketball at 58-14, 9 games ahead of Memphis. Over in the Eastern Conference, things are a bit tighter as the top 7 seeds are all within 9 games of the first place Miami Heat. The Bucks and Bulls face off tonight in what will be a great matchup. The Bulls are now fighting to avoid the bubble games as they are 2-8 in their last 10. That's all I've got for you today on SUTV Sports. I'm Ryan McCormick. We'll be back at the desk after the break.
Awkward. Do I look familiar? I should. You might remember me from here. Here. Or maybe even here. But an awkward silence can be a great thing. It can actually be a perfect moment to reach out to a friend and ask if they're okay if they seem down. It doesn't matter how you say it.
You all right?
Everything's okay?
All G?
You all right, girl? You cool?
You bugging dog.
Just show you're there for them. Go on, Kelly. CZ awkward.
Hey, you haven't really been yourself lately. Are you okay?
Find out how you can help a friend with their mental health at seizetheawkward.org.
Oh, hey, bud.
Oh.
Where are you headed?
Just gonna hang out.
It's a school night. With Gary and Todd?
Yeah?
Not sure about those two. I've been meaning to ask you. This is tougher than I thought. Is there any drinking going on in this crowd?
No.
I hope not, because alcohol can lead you to say things and do things that you really wish you hadn't. Isn't this what you're supposed to say?
I know.
So if any of your buddies ever pressure you to take a drink, just tell them you promised your dad you wouldn't. I'd do anything to keep you safe.
Okay, I will.
I hope this is working.
I promise. Love you too, Dad.
They really do hear you.
Ryan.
Yeah?
So start the conversation even before they're teenagers.
Good idea.
For tips on what to say, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov. A message from the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration.
Welcome back into SUTV News. Inflation rose 7.9% in February, creating the highest inflation rise in more than 40 years. Gas, groceries, and shelter prices increased the most, according to the latest Consumer Price Index. The Federal Reserve is expected to raise interest rates as oil and gas prices continue to rise amid the Russia and Ukraine war.
Gas prices in the United States have spiked over $4 per gallon as Russia continues to invade Ukraine. According to AAA, gas prices are now averaging over $4.20 per gallon nationwide. In Utah, gas prices also average over $4.30 per gallon, while in southern Utah, prices average at almost $4.50.
After release on March 4th, The Batman has earned over $36 million in revenue. The first rendition of Robert Pattinson's Batman highlights an early career Batman as he takes on the Riddler, along with many interactions with the Penguin and the Falcone family. Director Matt Reeves took the Batman in a different direction from other superhero movies and tied in a more comic book accurate detective Batman, resulting in a mystery movie with horror elements. The film has already been nominated for 3 Golden Trailer Awards, including Best Teaser, Best Motion and Title Graphics, and Best Sound Editing.
As the price of living and gas goes up along with the need for workers, studies show that some jobs aren't compensating for their staff for the work they do. Reporter Christian Sanchez has more.
It's no surprise that it's becoming more costly to get around. With many companies lacking in workers, businesses are starting to fall. From delivery drivers to doctors, many companies, offices, and restaurants are asking their workers to make sacrifices without being offered any type of financial boost. After the lockdown of 2020, many companies lost a major amount of workers. The price of living also continues to rise, with housing prices going through the roof and not enough homes being built for the demand of homes needed. It's also shown that 40% of workers feel like they aren't being paid enough for the work they do. Also seen before with University Chick-fil-A only being open during certain hours.
I would say that I think there's always room for us to get more, especially dealing with people and clients with like mental disabilities and stuff. Sometimes it's a lot depending on the clients you get and what you deal with on a day-to-day basis. They can be aggressive and come at you, and you do need to physically restrain them, so that can be physically and mentally taxing, so it's hard to let go of. We did recently get raised to 16, which is nice, but I think it could always raise up some more. But I think right now we're adequate, I guess. Especially for the example of teachers, that they basically mold the future generations and they don't get paid adequately. I feel like because they're doing such a vital job.
That many people don't know about until they run into it is the stealing of catalytic converters.
For SUTV News,
the catalytic converter is a part of the exhaust system in cars that helps convert harmful chemicals into less toxic chemicals. They are stolen because many contain metals that currently have a high value. The state of Utah has seen a 585% increase in the catalytic converter theft from 2018 to 2021. It is always unwanted to have a car part stolen, especially one that is important to the operation of the vehicle and pricey to fix.
A few weeks ago, I got my catalytic converter stolen, and it was really frustrating because that morning I got in my car and it was making a weird noise, and so I got really stressed that something was wrong with it. And then I took it into a shop and they were like, oh, it sounds like your catalytic converter's missing.
Man, in high school I used to work in a shop for a couple years, and we ran into a lot of catalytic converters that got stolen, and we were in a little sketchy part of Salt Lake, so like it was a little expected.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're always a pain because they can run you about $800 a piece.
Holy smokes.
Yeah, they're expensive, and it's a requirement for most smog tests or emissions tests. That's what it checks.
Gotcha.
It's a heavy piece to be missing.
Yeah.
You know, it sucks.
I would feel bad I was stealing anything, let alone that from someone's car.
Yeah, definitely rough. Thanks for tuning in. That's all we have for you today. I'm Thomas Dianella.
And I'm Hunter Hatch. Tune in for more SUTV News on Thursday.
We leave you tonight with more sights and sounds from Saturday's casino night.
Oh, so we could have got this money back on Blackjack. All right, no more bets. It's correct.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies.
Selfie nailed it. We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on man, let's split a ride home.